How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. It's been a hell of a ride for the 2018-19 NBA regular season. Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki will be missed and cherished forever, while some of the craziest dramas and storylines will be some of the things we'll look back on many years from now. It's not a surprise Golden State has home court advantage throughout the Western Conference. It's very surprising Milwaukee has home court advantage throughout the playoffs, while the Lakers can't even make the playoffs. They can't even win 40 games after all their injuries. But with that said, here are 10 of the weirdest NBA stories of the 2018-19 NBA regular season.
Number 10. Dillon Brooks or MarShon Brooks. After a roller coaster season for the Memphis Grizzlies, who will likely look to rebuild, Gasol was traded to the Raptors before the deadline. But before that, back in December, there was a failed trade involving MarShon Brooks or Dillon Brooks in a 3-team deal involving the Suns, Wizards, and Grizzlies. Phoenix thought they were getting Dillon Brooks, the younger and better player, compared to MarShon, who was much older, a journeyman who bounced around for much of his career. A huge miscommunication between the 3 teams, having the deal fall apart. Trevor Ariza, who was part of the trade, was traded to the Wizards the day after. It probably resulted in Phoenix not being aware of the 2 Brooks, thinking it was Dillon they were getting. Perhaps Memphis just told Phoenix they were getting a Brooks, and the Suns assumed it was Dillon Brooks. That's how the deal fell apart. Talk about incompetence at its finest from one of the most dysfunctional organizations in the NBA. MarShon would later be traded to the Bulls in January and waived a couple days after. Number 9. The Kristaps Porzingis allegation. First off, in one of the most surprising midseason trades of the year, the Knicks sent KP to Dallas alongside Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee, and Trey Burke in exchange for Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan, and Wesley Matthews, along with 2 future first-round picks. The Maps were made aware of the Porzingis incident where he was accused of rape during the night he tore his ACL. According to multiple reports, the 29-year-old woman told police that she waited for nearly 14 months to come forward because KP pledged to purchase her asylum by giving her $68,000 for her brother's college tuition. Porzingis denied any of the contract disputes. His attorney believed it was forgery. Executive Director of the National Players Association, Michelle Roberts, and the league office evaluated the accuser's claims, and based on what's presented before us, the league stands with Kristaps. Porzingis used to live in the same apartment building as the accuser. The facts and evidence will present itself when the situation gets settled, but it makes absolutely no sense for somebody to tore their ACL. The next thing you think about is assaulting a woman. After an athlete suffers a serious injury, they would be depressed and resting in bed, not even thinking about anything else, but the ongoing reports continue. Number 8. Anthony Davis wasting an entire season being kept hostage. There's no better way for the 26-year-old big man to end his season, with a shirt dissing his franchise that says, "That's all, folks." After growing frustrated with the Pelicans, Davis demanded a trade before the deadline, preferably to the Lakers, but after LA agreed to give up almost half their roster and the Pelicans still refused, not accepting any offers from the Lakers, ignoring the phone calls, screwing the Lakers season and theirs, former GM Dell Demps was fired afterwards. The franchise continued to fail AD over and over by not getting him any help. They're gonna likely trade him elsewhere this summer, but the fact that they weren't even trying to be competitive and win games after the drama, limiting Davis's minutes, wasting his season, reducing his time on the court so he can stay healthy, getting the most in return. How the team treated Anthony Davis was absolutely pathetic and shameful at all levels. I'm just waiting for the Anthony Davis revenge game when he puts on another uniform next season and destroys the Pelicans. Number 7. The Chicago Bulls Leadership Committee. It's been an absolute disastrous season for the Bulls. After the firing of head coach Fred Hoiberg, assistant coach Jim Boylen took over as the head. Players showed their frustrations, complaining that practice was too tough, got humiliated on December 8th, losing to Boston by 56 points. Soon after, the players all communicated in a group text, deciding on whether to boycott practice the next day after they got their butts whipped. The players even reached out to the Players Association to address what they viewed as extreme tactics used by Boylen in practice. In order to repair the players' relationship with the coach, the team formed a leadership committee afterwards. So far, Boylen's relationship with the players has come a long way. After he was ejected in a game against the Clippers in March, Levine offered to pay his coach's fine. A great gesture, a little bit of a happy ending to a terrible season. Number 6. Zhaire Smith's allergic sesame reaction. The Sixers have a long history of health mishaps with their first round picks, and Smith was one of the victims. was supposed to be the final piece to the team's rotation, ready to take the court in December, suffered a bad reaction to food that included either sesame seeds or oil. As a result, the 19-year-old out of Texas Tech lost 20 pounds from complications from the allergic reaction, a huge loss given his listed weight was 199 pounds at 6'4" before it happened. After recovering from a broken bone on his foot and then being out again for a couple months due to an allergic reaction to something he ate, I wonder if Philly didn't trade him in draft day and Smith plays in Phoenix, would he have missed so many games his rookie season? Or is it just a Sixer rookie curse this decade? Who knows? Nevertheless, Smith officially made his NBA debut on March 25th against Orlando, will hopefully have a long healthy career. Number 5, the Jimmy Butler Timberwolves drama. After calling out the whole team before the season, destroying everybody at practice, cursing out the players, coaches, and even the front office, making it known public, Butler pretty much ruined the Timberwolves season right when it started. The whole fiasco went on for weeks, eventually causing Coach Tibbs his job, lacking a sense of urgency to take action, an ugly divorce for the Tibbs Butler era, a red mark in Tibbs' coaching legacy on how the situation dragged on longer than it should have. Back when they traded to get Jimmy, the Wolves were viewed as one of the bright young teams, and after Jimmy left, the franchise is once again a dumpster fire, with all-star Karl Anthony Towns having no help and Andrew Wiggins not improving one bit. Number 4, the Markelle Fultz mysterious situation. Maybe Boston knew something no one else did when they traded the first overall pick to the Sixers. After 16 months of disaster, Philly couldn't rely on Fultz much longer, making it clear they want to contend for a championship, and Fultz was no longer part of their plans. Struggling with his jumper, made no impact. His free throw was still awkward looking, seems to have forgotten how to shoot. In the November game against the Grizzlies, after he tied his shoe, he glitches back randomly. Ended his working and personal relationship with his trainer Drew Hanlon. Philly eventually traded him to Orlando for Jonathan Simmons and 2 picks. Nowhere to be found, Fultz has spent the last couple months rehabbing his shoulder, looking to bounce back. His mystery remains to be solved. We'll have to wait till next season what he's made of. Number 3, the Draymond KD drama. The only thing that can screw up the Warriors from a three-peat is Golden State themselves. In an early season game against the Clippers on November 13, 2018, Draymond grabbed the rebound, went full court, loses the ball at the buzzer in a tie game, not even looking to give the ball to KD, leading to a heated argument that was later overblown on social media. The team had to suspend Draymond for his actions and detrimental conduct. The two went at it back and forth. In the confrontation, Green crossed the line by calling KD the B word several times, reminded Durant that the Warriors were winning before he even showed up, even spoke about how badly KD was handling his free agency talks. Many believe it could be the main reason for Durant leaving this summer, but the two have moved on from the incident, and if Durant decides to leave a couple months from now, how much of this one incident will factor in his decision? We'll find out. Number 2, the Dwight Howard saga. Many people have forgotten Dwight Howard still in the league, hasn't played a game since November 18, supposedly had back soreness before the season, but had a glute injury, saw a nerve specialist, unclear on how the injury happened. Having a butt injury sounds embarrassing enough. It seems weird, out of character. Of course, internet trolls made their jokes, viewed as a locker room cancer, bounced from team to team, and all of a sudden, having butt pain needing surgery, tweaked his hamstring after returning to the team late February, but hasn't played in nearly 5 months, with his career and body falling apart. After the world found out about his off-court scandal, his butt injury started to make a lot of sense, and sadly, he'll be most remembered for the jokes from trolls hiding behind their computers typing instead of what he accomplished in his career. His accuser came out firing bombshell claims that Howard harassed him, claimed the two were in a relationship, and Howard cheated on him, put out screenshot messages, which is likely fake to get attention, filed a lawsuit against Dwight, but Howard himself said he never met the person behind the lawsuit, says it's all false, plans to take legal action of his own, describes the accuser using his opportunity as a money grab. There's still a lot that we don't know about the story. Howard will have lots of questions to answer as he's in the downside of his career. The truth will be told on his situation very soon, but his reputation has taken a drastic hit, will unfortunately get constantly made fun of by the losers on the internet, making negative comments on Dwight having nothing to do with basketball. Number 1, Magic Johnson stepping down from the Lakers. In a shocking turn of events, the Lakers season ended brutally, missing the playoffs badly, having multiple injuries, with talks of head coach Luke Walton being fired, to Mo Heartless finishing their season with a walk-off game winner on their home floor. Just 2 years into his role of president of basketball operations, Johnson held back tears, deciding to walk away from his position. Didn't even inform Jeannie Buss or Rob Pelinka of his decision before talking to reporters. Was afraid Jeannie was gonna talk him out of the situation if he told her. Him and Rob Pelinka visited LeBron and his agent Rich Paul last Saturday, offered no indication that he was on the brink of leaving. Now it's up to Jeannie to make all the decisions on who she decides to fire and hire. Magic apparently haven't even spoken to Luke Walton for weeks, was granted permission to fire him, but now he's a free bird, and happy feeling right, was happier when he wasn't president of the Lakers. Now he won't be fined for tampering. The fact that he announced his decision out of nowhere caught everyone off guard. Honorable mentions includes Harrison Barnes being traded in the middle of a game. Of course, another yearly James Dolan drama, telling security to kick out a fan who just told him to sell their team. The fan didn't even say a bad word or curse. Maybe the day he finally sells the team, the Knicks will be good again. Of course, Lonzo Ball stepping away from the Big Baller brand after disgraceful co-founder Alan Foster allegedly stole $1.5 million from the ball company to divert the money into his own personal accounts, had a history of spending time in prison for his role in the Ponzi scheme, which the Ball family claimed they had no knowledge of. Lonzo seeking damages greater than $2 million. An unfortunate situation for him to see young talented kids being successful with sleazeball like Foster pretending to be his friend, but just using him as an opportunity to steal something from them. Absolutely pathetic and shameful. If Foster is found guilty, he belongs back in prison. A damaging hit for the Ball family. Lonzo, being frustrated and angry, covered up his BBB tattoo and erased brand mentions on his social media accounts, rightfully so. Thankfully, Lonzo smartly looking out for himself and will succeed doing things his way. A bad look for LeVar Ball, making poor business decisions with the wrong person. And of course, Carmelo Anthony not making it past 2019. The Rockets decided to quickly give up on him when they were struggling, bought him out, played his final game with Houston on November 8th, hasn't been picked up since.
What do you guys think was the weirdest storyline of the 2018-19 NBA regular season? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I talk NBA comparisons, amazing storylines, NBA history, and anything basketball that will interest you. If you love the NBA, subscribe for more content, more great stuff coming soon. I love all of you. See you next time.